unless it's going to rain buckets tonight, in which case I might not do that, but I will double check the weather forecast. So this is my box of greens. I've got rocket. I've got some red, I think it's Lolo Rosso lettuce, and I've got some Pak Choi here. So, red lettuce, we've just been told of the benefits of them. So I've got two here that I'm going to pop into at the end of this basket is a box. I'm just going to rip this in half and pull the roots that are sort of starting to grow into one another apart, like so. And then I'm going to grab my spoon again. Oops. Oh, there we go. I'll just stick myself, not so much a round hole this time, it's a kind of rectangular shape. And you can see these lovely roots are desperately wanting some more space to grow into, so they're definitely needing potted on. Same thing, I'm just firming the compost back in and around the neck of that plant. And then digging my second hole here. Pop it in, front and around the neck, just to make sure there's not any big air gaps in there. And these lettuce will grow up. Now, this type of lettuce, you can pick the leaves as it's growing. So maybe within the next day or two, I would actually start harvesting some of these leaves, and that'll encourage it to keep on making more leaves throughout the coming weeks, and we get to enjoy them. If you cut it all off at the one time, which you can do, if you needed the whole lettuce, that would be fine. You can cut it right off pretty close to the compost layer, but it probably wouldn't grow any more leaves for you. It needs to always have some leaves there, so always leave at least half the leaf quantity on the plant if you're taking them off. But if you've got a couple, you're always sort of like nipping a few off of each one every other day. Now, I was having a look at, this is rocket. I was having a look at these young seedlings, and I'm not too keen to plant them out, if I'm perfectly honest, because they don't really have a terribly good root system. Come on, out you come. You can see there's next to no root system in here, and they really don't have much in the way of green leaf development at the top. They've barely got their first set of true leaves. They've got their first leaves, which are their seedling leaves, like their baby leaves, and then they've got maybe their first set of true leaves. And ideally, you want to be potting on seedlings when they've got two sets of true leaves. So in total, that would be 6 leaves. So I'm going to bow out of planting this rocket. I'm going to pop it back into its little section. And I'm going to make sure it's well watered and keep it outside in a sunny, sheltered spot until maybe another week. I'll give it another 6-7 days, and then I'll pot it into another container. So what I'll do is I'm going to plant 4 Pak Choi in here instead. Pak Choi, you're meant to give it about 30 centimetres in between the plants, but I like to use my Pak Choi when it's really small and sweet and tender. I don't really like it when it gets full grown. Not that there's anything wrong with it, because that's what you're supposed to grow it like that, and chop it up and use it in stir fries and whatnot. But I much prefer it when the leaves are, when it's a smaller plant and the leaves are a wee bit more tender. And I basically eat it like lettuce. Okay, so this root ball's not much better than the rocket, but it's a lot sturdier, and I'm quite happy to plant these ones. So same thing, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 in here, just digging a wee hole with my spoon, popping it in, holding it by the root ball, not by the stem. I could have held it by the leaves, but the root ball lends itself to being held. So I'm just going to dig another, I'll dig my 4 wee holes. Gently tearing apart. Now, depending on your client group, perhaps you could tear the plants apart in advance of the session beginning to make it a little bit easier for your clients to handle them, and also ensuring that they maybe don't get damaged. I'm just going to pop that one into its hole, firm it in and around. Number 3, number 4. Same thing. I'm not going to water them in here just now. I'm going to use my rose spray and try not to water on top of the leaves. I'm going to put my spray in and around the plants where my hand's going just now, so that as much water is going directly onto the compost and not spraying over the leaves. Obviously, when it's rain falls on top of them, and that can't be helped, but at least the rain generally falls gently and doesn't come out in a torrent. So I'm sure these plants will grow beautifully, and I'm looking forward to my Pak Choi, because I've only really started to grow it. Last year was the first time I grew it, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to more this year.